Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. We are going to talk about Spinach. This is for the new game coming out November 12th, Farming Simulator 25. Giants has released a blog post with a bunch of new information and a bunch of new screenshots related to spinach, which is awesome, which is one of the new crops in the upcoming game. And it's actually quite cool. Some of you might say, oh, whatever, it's just spinach, but it's actually quite cool. And I will say as well, if you want to pre-order the game for PC, I can't do it for console, unfortunately. You can pre-order it for console, don't get me wrong, but you can't use my code down below in the description, FarmerCop at checkout. But if you'd like to, there's links down below in the description. I also have a link down there that has a video showing you what the different types of packages are and why you should order one versus the other. It kind of explains it so you kind of get it a little bit better. But yeah, if you do use that code, it does help support the channel at no additional cost to you, which is awesome. You can also get the year one season pass as well. But without further ado, let us dive into spinach. So I'm going to read the blog post and show off some screenshots for you guys. So it says, full of nutrients, presumably of ancient Persian origin, the subject of a culinary myth for its actually not so high iron content, and Popeye's favorite, spinach. It's also coming to Farming Simulator 25. Let's take a look at the leafy green crop, as it does offer some unique things to keep in mind on your virtual fields. And then it says time for spinach, and then there is this nice growth chart here, which on the growth chart, it says the yield per hectare at the top is 23,100 liters. The average selling price is $660. It only needs 10 liters of seeds per hectare, and growth duration is only 3 months, and it can be planted in March and April, with harvest during June and July, and September and October, which means you can harvest this twice, which we'll talk a little bit more about, and I'll go over these specific states in better photos here later on. But yeah, moving on. It says spring and summer are spinach seasons. In March or April, you take your seeder and put out about 10 liters of seed per hectare, which it uses a regular seeder, which I'll put on your screen. It looks like they're just planting the regular directional seeder, which is pretty easy to do. So it doesn't require special seed or anything like that. You'll probably never have to empty that seeder, or never have to reload that seeder, I should say, with only using 10 liters per hectare. But anyhow, it says, yes, about 10 liters of seed per hectare. Look forward to yield about 23,100 liters in return, which if you're doing the math like I did, that's about just over $15,000 a hectare in money that you're going to make off of the harvest if you harvest it and sell it at $660 per 1,000 liters, which is great, which that's how they do prices in Farming Simulator. If you didn't know, the $660 is per 1,000 liters. So moving on, with an average selling price of $660 per liter, but it says per liter. There's no way they mean per liter, because that would be, oh my gosh, if I did the math on that, 23,100 times 660 would be, you would be very rich. You'd be making $15.246 million per hectare. So yeah, that's not true. It's going to be $660 per 1,000 liters. So just be aware of that. It says you need to be ready to harvest in June. Mind that you need a specialized harvester here, the Oxbow MKB4TR, which I'll put some screenshots up as we talk about that. You've probably already seen them on your screen now. It's a really cool harvester, actually. It looks really cool. I don't know the capacity or anything like that. I'm assuming they'll do fact sheet Fridays and that sort of thing as we keep going. But it's a pretty cool looking machine. As we keep going down on the blog post, it says, sow once, harvest twice. If you're not wasting any time, you can actually harvest spinach twice a season. To do that, you got to sow it right in March, wait for it to mature, harvest it right away in June, and watch it grow again. Don't forget to apply your usual yield improvement like you do with other crops. So we don't know all the yield improvement stuff. I'm assuming that's lime fertilizer, take care of weeds, plow it if needed, that sort of thing. We don't have a lot of information here, just a little bit. We get some more screenshots of the harvester unloading, which it kind of unloads like a sugarcane harvester. Or like a sugarcane trailer, not a sugarcane harvester, like a sugarcane trailer, kind of a high dump, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. It says doing everything right and in time. You'll see those growth stages that slightly differ in the second cycle, as it is common among crops like spinach. The first growth stage after harvesting it the first time appears a bit more bushy. Helps to easier keep track of all your spinach fields visually. So that's one of the really cool things as well. And I'm going to show this off as well in this. They have a different look to them the second time around each year. So you have to still plant them every year is my understanding, but you can harvest them twice as long as you plant them right away in March and you harvest right away, which is pretty cool. So if we look at the different screenshots, it's basically the same ones that we saw on the growth chart, but just blown up. So you see at April, it's kind of looks pretty thin. That's kind of after you planted it. So you planted it March, April, there you go. You can see it kind of thinned out, not too bushy. May, quite a bit more bushy. June, obviously ready to harvest, very lush plants there. In the harvested state, you can see that there's still some green plants on the ground. And then in July, which is the first now, and the second set of growing stages for this. That's the first of those stages. And in July, you can see it's quite a bit bushier. And then if we move forward another state here to August, you can see it's even more bushier. Honestly, August looks like almost like it did back in June when you harvested it the first time. And then if we take another step forward to September, it is very ready to harvest there for the second time. I'm assuming the yield will be the same both times, but I don't know for sure. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. But it's still very cool that we have a crop that you can kind of do double on every year, and you don't actually have to plant it again, which is also nice. And then finally, at the very end, you have it withered here in this photo. So you can see that it's all withered out and all has died out. So make sure you don't let it get to there. Hopefully you can harvest it twice and do it all correctly. But yeah, it says, and remember the words of one of our favorite sailors, you're strong to the finish because you eats your spinach. I'm assuming that's Popeye. Well, harvest it at least and sell it before it withers, will you? But yes, you can pre-order. Again, it talks about pre-order and stuff like that. You also get the Macdon pack as a bonus, which is a pretty cool pack, actually. There's a few pieces of equipment in it that are pretty nifty. You get that as a bonus if you pre-order the game, but pretty cool. That's what I got for you guys. I don't have a lot more information, just a few things here that I wanted to show you. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching. We'll keep you posted here on the channel with any new information about Farming Simulator 25.